Namaskar everyone sitting across the screens. Before hitting to the topic straight, let me compliment Mr. NARNAULIA for moving and shaking and bringing all the think tanks of education, fraternity and relevant people under one umbrella for their views and opinions. Thank you, CREDENT TV, for having me over. Social consciousness, a must for sustenance and development. Since my target group, my dear audience, is class 11th and 12th primarily, yet I'm so delighted to address the fellow citizens, my friends, my colleagues, the teachers, the student fraternity, everyone, because I love speaking on a relatable topic. I love talking about a relatable topic which makes sense to every one of us, and especially the generic topics. Now, sustainable development, boys and girls there. Soon you are going to be thrown into the humongous ocean full of humans. You'll be out of the reams of your school. You will be out of the wings of your parents, of your comfort zones of your parents. And you'll be in the sea of ocean left with almost good skills and values intact for you to fend for yourselves, for you to thrive and survive. So my question, of course, I'm not going to make statements out of statement. I'm not going to give you any statistics. I'm going to give you the parameters for you at the end of the day to analyze yourself and see as to where, as of today, you stand and how much prepared you are to go out in the open and survive and thrive. The word thrive is very, very important. Thrive means to flourish. You all are going to go abroad, overseas. Even if you don't go abroad now, later maybe for livelihood, to earn your livelihood, or maybe for higher education. But then I am sure that you are going to go out of your own respective cities and towns to different places in our own country, maybe Bangalore or maybe Hyderabad or Northeast or down south, anywhere. Now, my question to you all is, are you prepared? Are you equipped enough to engage yourself and to mingle with the people around? The people, those who are not from your ethnicity, those who are not of your caste, you're not your color, their language are different, their traditions are different, the clothing are different, the cuisine are different. Will you be able, are you equipped enough to adapt and adopt to the new environment? If not, my dear boys and girls, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. Because from one society, from one particular community, right now, all you had your own set of people, your own set of friends. And now suddenly you are going to go into an ocean of humans, full of people living on the edge, hyper competitive, where everybody is in a race to tumble down, to pull people down. Will you be able to sustain yourself in that atmosphere? That is the big question. Are you socially conscious? Are you very well etiquetted when it comes to public hygiene? Are you sensitive towards the environment? Or is it okay for you to witness mutely somebody teasing a girl somebody throwing trash in the open, somebody writing and scribbling things on the public properties. Are you fine with it? So if that's so, you are yet not prepared. You would not be accepted. You would not be accepted. Forget about overseas. You would not be accepted. And then the frustration is going to develop. So now for you to go and sustain yourself, for you to go and live, survive, thrive, develop, participate, get yourself protected, you need to be very well equipped. Equipped by what? By degrees? Yes, you all are. And believe me, boys and girls and people out there, this mere degree, the paper degree, is not going to solve problems. It's the mere degree, the certificate or the diploma is not going to be sufficient. It's not going to make you future ready. Future readiness is not all about artificial intelligence and robotics. It's much more. So again and again, umpteen times I'll be using the word thrive, to flourish. So can I, for that matter, thrive all by myself? Do I not need the people around me, the community, the society? And society means a positive people, those who encourage me, those who help me out in the times of failures. So am I equipped? Am I skilled? Do I have a proper attitude along with the degree? If not so, my dear boys and girls, then nobody can teach you the skills and attitudes to live life. It cannot be taught in the four walls of the classroom. It has to come from within. Unless you do not internalize the gravity, the need, the requirement of changing yourself, of aligning your ethics, your morals, your values with global perspective, you're not ready. And if you're not ready, the mere degree is not going to help you out. It's not going to take you for a long. And then you are going to face rejections and failures, non-fulfillment of your dreams, dejections, everything. And that frustration gets over. So must you be conscious? Must you try consciously? Internalize, and things which you don't let you sleep, work consciously on that. So when a foreign national, I'm going to just throw open the questions for you to analyze and see how are you going to react. And if you are apathetic towards the situation, it means lots needs to be done to your own self. And if you feel strongly on my statements, on my certain incidences, it means you are a social conscious person and you are ready to take the ball in your stride and flourish and strive. So our country, India, Bharat, Hindustan, it's a tourist destination, tourist nation. People from all across the globe, they come. And they love our country. When they tread and travel all across the length and the breadth of the country when they go back home, and when they are being asked about the views of India, they say, wow, India, wonderful city, wonderful people, humble people, great hospitality, very warm, diverse flora and fauna, beautiful heritage, but a gender insensitive nation. a nation where religious sentiments are not respected, and a filthy nation. Now, if these three statements of yours, if it pains you somewhere in your system, if it pricks you there, then you are a conscious person. You are a conscious person ready to change yourself. And if you just read and hear and brush it off and put it at your back, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen there, loads and loads needs to be done. Loads and loads need to be done. Otherwise, there's no point of whining and crying every day, turning down the newspapers. Newspaper, which gives me a news. Indian techie caught stalking a female colleague. Indian doctor booked for molesting and beating the wife. Group of Indians reprimanded for throwing trash onto the beaches after the entire merrymaking. Does it prick you, people out there? Yes, it should. If you have the Indianness, otherwise Independence Day may come and may go. If you feel strongly about these 3, 4, 5, 6 statements, if you feel strongly from within, then try and do something to correct it. And that something, my dear people there, it starts from me. It's from I. It's from myself. It's I have to bring, because I am a one single unit of this entire society edifice. So I have to have a strong pillars of these 3 tenets, 3 important principles of democracy we know, but that of the society. Are we a pluralistic society? Do you believe in pluralism? Am I okay? Are you okay to have friends of all different community people, of all different religion, different caste, color, creed? Does your group of friends have a different color and caste and creed? Do you have, or you are only focused on my kind of people, my religion people, my ethical people, the people of my caste, of my color, of a particular community? If that's so, lot needs to be done. So I have to have, and I'm sure you all would be having a Sardar in your friend group, a South Indian in your friend group, a Northeastern in your friend group, a person from Bihar in your friend group. So this is what is our pluralistic society. And if you love to interact, mingle, and engage yourself with different kind of people, with their customs, with their traditions, with their cuisine, with their clothing, then you are on a correct path. Second is secularism. Do you believe in secularism? Different religions. Do you believe in coexistence, brotherhood, oneness? We have been teaching and you've been learning and reading years after year. But do you actually believe in? Or you have a small appetite for a particular community, for a particular region? Or do you frown when you say, oh, Chinki, Madrasi, Marwadi, Bihari? If that is your attitude, there's nothing wrong with me being called Marwadi or someone being called Bihari. But then in what language, with what expression, in what timing you are using, it's very, very important. So if you are a firm believer of secularism, then you ought to be having a firm belief in coexistence, in brotherhood, in oneness, respecting everyone. And another one very, very important things we've been hearing for last 5-6 days, suddenly we've started hearing the word inclusion and inclusive education and inclusivity. But then it was there in the Constitution. Do you believe in inclusion? And when I speak of inclusion, it's not only inclusive in terms of differently able people. Inclusive society, where I treat every individual as a human, irrespective of the gender, irrespective of one's socio-economic status. Kitna paise wala hai, kitna garib hai, kis post ka hai, kis post ka nahi hai, no. Irrespective of sexual preferences, irrespective of their sexual orientations, irrespective of the caste, the color, the creed, the region, the nationality, the ethnicity. So if you welcome in your group, if you welcome their thought processes, if you consider every single individual irrespective of all these things which I mentioned, if you are okay, if you are okay, I was reading a comment there. If you are okay with it, boys and girls, my dear ladies and gentlemen, a lot needs to be done. So let us not whine. Let us not put across everything on the government. It's our government, chosen by us, for us, by us. So government cannot do. It's your own personal perception and internalization, how you feel strongly about something. Are you a law-abiding citizen? Do you violate law? Do you break law? No. If you don't, a small aspect of it is covered. Wonderful if you are law-abiding people. But then that is not sufficient. In a group of 5, I don't break laws. Wonderful. But then if 2 of my friends, they are casual in their approach towards law, do I support them? So am I apathetic towards them, their attitude, the casual attitude towards law? Be it any law, the road safety and the drugs and everything. No. So if you have a friend, those who are having a very casual approach, triple riding without a helmet, high speed, driving without license, if you are a conscious person, first, you yourself are not going to be a violator. Secondly, that you are not going to be a supporter of the person who's violating. Don't support. And don't be muted. Being supportive is one thing, and being muted and unaffected is another thing. And you cannot afford, being a social conscious person, you cannot afford being either of the two. And third thing, very important, axing a person or boycotting a person who is a violator is not the answer, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. There, it's very easy for us ignore, exclude, boycott that person. he's a violator. Counseling and guidance is only the answer. You ought to be, and persistent, and it's not a one-time exercise. You have to keep ongoingly, keep on counseling and guiding that person. That, look, this is not good. You are a wonderful, and positive reinforcement. Why do this? You are a wonderful person. Why unnecessary you are doing this? Why being so casual? Do you understand the repercussions of this on your family? So these are the counseling you ought to be doing. So being a law-abiding citizen is one thing. Supporting a violator is another thing. And excluding and boycotting is another thing. So I hope you understand that these things are so important for you to become a socially conscious person. So if I'm a law-abiding citizen here in Jaipur, and that law-abiding DNA is there in my system, so I'm sure if I'm going to Bengaluru or Hyderabad or Kanyakumari or J&K, I'm not going to brush it off. I'm not going to ignore, because that's there in my system. I am a law-abiding person. I would follow irrespective of the region I travel. Whether I go overseas, I'll be abiding by the rules and regulation of that land. And if I do that, there's no stopping. I'll be able to live there. I'll be able to survive there. I'll be able to thrive there. I'll be able to participate there. I'll be able to develop myself there. I'll be able to be protected myself. People out there would be any number of people standing besides me to protect me if God forbid something happens to me. But this is when I have given enough reason for my fellow people in and around in the foreign land, that he is a person who's soft, who is involved, who's participating in everything, who values, who's morally high, who's ethical, whose morals are good, who is a valued person, a law-abiding citizen. When on a foreign land, when people get to know, and they are all intelligent people like us, so they open their arms for you to just think, to be there and to survive and to add on to the economy. Why they would ask you to just move and with the placards, Bharat Chodo, or yahan se chale, Indians go, and no. So many parameters there. Internalize. If you are not equipped, feel strongly. Keep on learning and professing and advocating. You ought to be adhering there, abiding there, advocating there, upholding all the moral values which you have been taught from class, perhaps by the time you open your eyes, by your parents and by the school, in whichever schools you are going. So uphold those values and morals and ethics. Abide by them, adhere by them, and advocate and profess them. And if you do all that, there's no stopping. There's no stopping. You would be able to accomplish your objectives, an objective of life. We all have our objective, and only one objective everyone has, to have a nice, happy life with surroundings of your loved ones. And that objectivity, that accomplishment of your objective is by practicing this. Your efficiency would increase if you're a law-abiding citizen. Your effectiveness would increase. You'll personally develop. You'll professionally develop. You'll develop socially. You'll develop harmoniously. And if all these kind of developments are there, it's all happiness. It's all happiness. So we've been hearing about India in the League of Developing Nation. सालों हो गए सुनते सुनते developing nation, India developing nation, in the list of developing nation. Oh, we have wonderful brains. Just see the multinationals all over globe. All the CEOs, majority of them are Indian born, with Indian origin. Brains are there, premier institutions are there, establishments are there. Yet, from developing, it's very difficult. After so many years, we could not cover this distance from developing nation to the orbit of developed nation. And it's not easy, we would not, unless every single citizen becomes a socially conscious person. And one and only one ballistic device which we have, which can catapult us to the next orbit of developed nation, is social consciousness, social transformation. There's no stopping there. So degree alone, nothing. Degree supported and substantiated by social consciousness based on secularism, pluralism, inclusion, gender sensitive, supported by these 2-3 tenets. The day is not far where we'll see that we are being registered and accepted there in the League of Nations. They are handful. These League of Nations are handful of people there, very scarce population as against our 1.3 billion. So only and only one thing, if we overcome, if we become a socially conscious nation, there's no stopping an individual, no stopping our country from becoming a number one there. So I'm being told 5 minutes are left. Okay. Now these are the things you need to understand. You need to, it needs to come. You all are, rather our mistake, that you are wired and programmed for handling success. Nobody taught you the failures. No, nobody taught you to handle failures. So learn to handle failures. There would be obstacles. There would be rejections and dejections and refusals. Life is one wonderful thing which has been given to us by the Almighty. Must we take care? We are not God's chosen one. भगवान ने ऐसे निकाल के नहीं दिया कि इसको ये बहुत अच्छा इंसान है, इसके ऊपर कोई तकलीफ नहीं आनी चाहिए. No. Everybody would have their own fair share of miseries, of depressions, of dejections, of stresses. But then how you are mindful, how you are careful, how you are wise to handle situations and keep yourself buoyant, keep yourself afloat out of this. So must you have the faith and conviction in yourself in addressing any and every eventuality coming to you. Everybody is being endowed by this small brain. Nobody exceptional there. So use it nicely, analytically, adapt. Be mindful of what you speak. Be mindful of your actions. Be mindful of your deeds, of your gestures, other than the academic degrees and the certificates and this. And I'm sure nothing is going to hold you back, my dear boys and girls. And people out there, those who are listening, my fraternity people, we all are doing wonderful job when it comes to teaching and giving moral values and ethical values to the students. But then this is the time now when they are ready to move ahead of our cozy, comforted, monitored reams of schools. They need to be prepared to take the school, to take the world. And everybody is living on the edge there. So thank you so very much. And I hope I have made some sense. And like you just see, Gandhiji, when he said, be the change you want to see in the world. So I'm not talking of the world. I want be the change what you want to see in and around you. So year after year, we see, we hear these statements made by the statement people, made by those thorough gentlemen. It makes sense in today's perspective also. So with all that thing, love you all, take care, and be happy, and live, survive, and thrive and flourish in whichever atmosphere, environment, whichever region, whichever state, whichever part of the globe you are at there. Survive there and make people around happy. Don't cheat people. Don't exploit people. Treat every individual as a human and not as a female. Don't take it to your heart when a girl supersedes you in a task. Don't take it. Take her as a competitor, not as a girl who is stood first. So increase your bandwidth of tolerance. Increase your appetite of your trust, of your engagements, of your love there. So must you increase your appetite and your bandwidth of accommodation, of moving along people. Akele zindagi nahi ji jati. So if I have an Audi there and a Bangalore there, if I do not have people to come and to party with me and to enjoy my Bangalore and a drive with me, of what sense that Audi and that Bangalore would be. So you need to have a nice, cozy, beautiful community in and around. So every single individual, if they take care of the immediate society, jyot se jyot chala ke chalo. So maine ye jalaya, isne wo jalaya, usne wo jalaya, and I'm sure we are very soon we are going to be one wonderful society of happy. Don't drive pleasures out of someone's pain. Don't be sadistic. Don't be sadistic. Perhaps that misogynistic and sadistic DNA runs in our system. So be conscious. Take it and throw that DNA out of their system. Let us not laugh at someone's misery. Let us not laugh at someone's misery, someone's pain. Let us support to see how much. Okay, Sunil, thank you so much. He says, ma'am, please conclude the session. Time is over. So Sunil NARNAULIA, you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm being following, and I see and hear the opinions and views of so many wonderful people. Keep doing a good job, and thank you for having me over. Love you all, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students there. Take care and love you.